It's the Daily Talk Show, episode 568.
What's happening, guys? What's going on? Weekend Banter.
Oh, yeah, buddy. Clap it in, buddy.
Is everyone's... My headphones are so loud. I don't know whose headphones those were that I just turned down.
Special episode. We've got our better halves here. And what do you call the kid? Is there a... I mean, you call him your son.
So if you got better half, and then a gift with purchase.
Can you say, hello, Gronks, what's going on?
No.
Can you meow? Can you meow?
So we've got Bodhi here as well, my son. This is his first feature on the video podcast. Because he was on, remember we were at our house?
That's right.
Last year. That was before we'd started recording.
He couldn't really say anything at that point. Can I have one too, please? Thank you.
So we've got chocolate and we've got a cheese spread.
Feeding the baby.
Happening here. Bodhi, don't be shy. Just say, what's up, Gronks?
What's up, Gronks?
No, he's actually quite tired because today we've been at Bounce, the trampoline park.
Oh, we've been there before.
Went for a birthday, mate. Far out. I feel old.
Did you dunk?
Nah, I got there. So it was a kid's birthday. They'd put it on.
Whose party?
Clara. And so there's 10, 15 other kids and the parents are there too. And I started jumping and they're like, oh, sorry, you can't be jumping. You have to pay to jump. I was like, hang on, what are you talking about? We're here at a kid's party. What, can't I jump with my kid? And they're like, no, you have to pay for a wristband.
Really?
Oh, really?
I was like, absolutely not. And I jumped a little bit more. And then
surely,
I was like,
does our mate, Conspiracy Jimmy, does he print the wristbands? Could you have hooked some up?
I probably could have. But what I ended up doing was I was just rebelling slightly. Hang on, Mason, the babysitter, has to step in.
Bodhi, come here.
This is one of those where we can't have Bodhi.
Come here, Bodhi. Come here. Come here.
He's just came for the chocolate and now he's leaving.
He's jumping right near the tripod. That's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I see what he's doing. Oh, this is great. He's he's running away from Mason. He knows exactly what he's doing.
You can feel free to manhandle him.
Yeah, great.
Okay.
Yeah. Taser him.
Bye.
So we've got a little setup
This is
that
great.
we're doing.
With
Anyway,
cat dog. Sorry, not cat dog. What? Cat boy.
Cat boy. So they ended up coming up to me. I reckon they spoke because I got told off by 2 people. And I kind of was like, this is a bit silly. We're here for a kid's party. We're like, how is it not included that the adults can just jump around with their kids?
Yeah.
And so they came up like, here's a pair of socks and a wristband. We've found some. We can give it to you.
Oh, that's nice.
That's nice.
So
they did that.
I reckon they were thankful because then all the kids were chasing me and stacks on and so they didn't really have to do much because that was
So
meant
you
to be
were
their job.
almost, they're like, here's a whistle and here's all the guidelines.
Yeah. And so Bodhi, it was so cute because all the kids were jumping on me and Bodhi was jumping and saying, no, he's my special daddy. And he was like pulling kids off and like wanting to, look after me.
You're the cool dad. Were you wearing your hat backwards?
No, I didn't have my hat. I left my hat at the office.
Such a cool hair.
Oh, he's really in front of the camera.
That's okay. That's all right.
It's all right. He's fine.
Yeah, he's watching the screen. But
This is actually funny. I'm really enjoying this.
Yeah, Mason would make a great dad.
Yeah, he would, wouldn't he?
Sit with me.
Tully's ovaries would be exploding right now if she was here. You can turn your mic off, Mace.
Sit down, you little gun.
I tell you what, like he's stopped. Oh no, he's having a nap still, but we need to stop it.
Yeah.
Because he won't sleep at night.
Is it a midday nap? Is that when kids normally have naps?
So
12.
like about now, which is why he's so ratty.
And so,
What does it take for him to go to sleep? Like if you want to set up a nap time, what does he need? What are
Michael Jackson's doctor just full medicated. No, but see, he gets so tired,
Bodhi's
but he
bed.
doesn't want to sleep. That's the thing, and so
I know that feeling.
we can't. We're like, we got to keep him up because then, like, he's for the last week straight, he's been
Going to bed at like 9, 10.
but he won't go to sleep. So you try and put
9,
him in.
10 p.m.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
But you put him into bed at 7, and then he's starting to. He gets out, and then he comes. Yeah, he constantly.
I just want one more cuddle. I just want some water. I just want to go to the toilet.
I just want some cheese, so I'm going to have that.
Is there anything
go
to
for
do
it.
with like a reverse baby monitor?
Oh,
Like a FaceTime so he can see you guys and you can wave?
he would be trying to put Catboy on it or something. I don't know. You just don't want to give him the screen.
Yeah, you're talking about the whole kids and like being an adult and going somewhere and not being included. Our friend Abby was telling me that when she went to Disneyland, she believes that if you are with a kid, you can go in the fast lane designed for one person, and she would do it constantly.
Really?
Whereas most people, obviously, if you've got a kid, you line up because you got more than two. You can't go in the express lane or whatever.
And so the rule
she
is...
well, it wasn't the rule, but it's like, who's going to question you sort of thing. She also had her son had a wheelchair pass that she got, so they, But
Well, he had a sore foot.
yeah, he
though.
had a sore
He had
foot.
a sore foot.
But she did tell him, you've got a sore foot.
No, he did. No, the story was he did hurt his foot, but I don't think it was that bad. So, and then all of a sudden she was like, "Are you sure?" And he was like, "Oh no, actually, yeah, it's bad." And then they got a pass. I don't know the full story, but yeah.
I mean,
it was legit,
You're definitely looking for opportunities to leverage.
especially in that place.
Disneyland. I mean, yuck.
Unless you have a fast pass, even we had the fast pass when we went, and it was still crazy.
When did you guys go there?
We've been to when did we
We went to Disney World in 2015 and Disneyland in 2013.
Disneyland was the best thing ever. I loved it. I'd always wanted to go. It was like the park that was created by Walt Disney. It was really good. Disney World.
It's the Florida one, and it's a little bit bigger. They're like, it's a little bit more like they've got Ellen DeGeneres doing like a whole show.
Oh, she was there?
No, but it's like video, but it was like recorded in like the 90s. So it was like, it's a bit weird.
Is it, and when were you there? What year, Amy?
Oh, I'm bad with years.
Coming to
I would
the
say
mic.
maybe, let's go with 2012.
Great year.
Yeah.
Disney World or Disneyland?
World,
Yeah.
Florida. So
What were you going for? Was it for like with friends, or what was the arrangement?
My auntie took me for my 21st, but I was
that's nice.
older than 21. I think 22 or 23.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You travelled the US with your auntie, didn't you?
Yeah, and a bit of Canada.
Oh, that's fun.
It's beautiful. So generous.
Can you imagine travelling with your auntie, Josh?
Helen. Yeah, Helen's great.
Helen?
Oh, you could
Maureen.
travel. You could travel
maybe.
both Helen and Maureen.
Yeah. I've got a lot of aunties.
I'd like it'd be nice to. So what would that? Who would I? That would be me going to Disney
With like Kerry.
with Kerry. Nah. See,
So you don't like Kerry,
I love Kerry,
but you wouldn't travel with her.
It
Just
would be
different
so
pages, maybe.
weird. It would be so weird.
What does
travelling.
Kerry like, and what do you like?
Kerry's a sweetheart. It's my dad's sister. She's similar to my dad, don't you think?
Loves plants.
Yeah, gorgeous.
She's a social worker. Sweet, very sweet. But I just couldn't imagine
She would have
traveling.
loved the trip with us. We went to like
What was it with
Prince
you?
Edward Island, which was where Anne of Green Gables was written and set. And we stayed in the Kindred Spirits Inn, and every like this bed and breakfast, and every night at like 5 o'clock you came down for supper, and they had home cooked like chocolate chip cookies, which were massive, and tea, and you sat around a fireplace and chatted with all the other people who were staying there. It was like super sweet,
I
but not
love
for
that.
everyone.
But it'd be like now me going with Rupert, my brother's son.
Yeah.
I can imagine that. Like how old's he? 0, like a 1, nearly 1. How old were you when you went?
Like
21.
22.
Yeah.
So how old will I be when he's 21? I'll be old.
You'd be like 50.
So it would be a similar. I know. See, my auntie was a lot older. So by the time I was 21, she would have been.
But your
Late.
aunties that you said that you would go with,
Yeah,
do
yeah.
they have kids?
Yes.
Yes.
okay.
And one of the aunties is.
Do I have any aunties that don't
70
have kids? No.
something?
Yeah, one auntie's almost like a grandma in regards to age.
Right. This auntie that I went with didn't have kids, so she'd kind of like spoil you and like just put everything into.
That's what Bree and I are planning on being.
Yes.
We want to be the
For my
cool
nephew,
auntie and
Max.
uncle.
Yeah.
and-
Yeah, so it would be like
Yeah.
you taking like
Yeah.
your nieces and nephews, which would
We
be amazing.
bloody love him.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Strap in
Yeah.
for
Yeah, yeah.
Disneyland, Disney World.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you could start off with the Gold Coast, SeaWorld.
Yeah, actually, I would take him. to
I mean,
the
I'm not a
parks.
theme park guy. I think
But
we're
I
not
would do
going
it
to.
for
I
him.
don't reckon. Why? I don't think he needs it.
No, I think he would love it.
I think like NASA, you're trying to push astronaut
I went
stuff
to
on.
NASA as well.
Oh, really?
It was
I think
great.
that's definitely something that's the cool auntie and uncle.
I just thought space books were cool, and I just wanted him to learn all about space. So I was just giving him space books. I'm not pushing space on him.
Do you reckon kids still think space is as cool as it was? Like,
Yeah.
I remember thinking it was so cool.
Yeah.
Well, we're at the time where
Now it's Minecraft. You know?
there'd be something.
My nephew loves dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs are
Pretty
fascinating,
cool.
aren't they?
are. And how they've just discovered that like they were covered in feathers and closer to birds than reptiles.
What?
Really?
When did this come out?
Bodhi, can you pull that up?
News.com.au. Did the,
Couple years, like it's pretty recent.
that they were feathers.
Yeah, covered in feathers.
That's
Big
real
Bird.
soft.
It was Big Bird from Sesame Street.
Essentially.
Well,
Big chickens.
Someone said the other day, it's like, the sound of a dinosaur. I think it was a meme.
Oh,
No one's ever heard
Yeah.
the sound of a dinosaur. They're making it up.
that is so true.
They are.
Very
What's
weird.
so Jurassic Park, it's the movies that are doing this stuff. I mean, movies are shaping. We saw an ad for we watched the DVD last night.
Oh, yeah.
DVD.
It was that's old school, and so there was pre-roll ads, and so we watched these pre-roll ads, and it was for
Like previews.
previews of movies. Like it was like a Back to the Future box set. Not that it was just like revamping it, but then one of them was like some movie that came out in 2011,
Land Before Time?
something like that.
I love that movie.
But
it was
Back to
very-
the Future, like the shoes that they were wearing, like they still had to build in the movie. They still had to build the shoes that could suck in, like
Sure,
and,
yeah.
and have the jacket that tightened.
Did
I
you
don't
see
know how
they
did
made that? So they made a version that you could buy. It was like a lot
Nike
of money.
did.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They
And it was
did.
it was all motorized or whatever, very heavy, impractical.
I think we did this, Mace, once before, but do it again.
I've just got the AirPods on Bodhi. He's watching Peppa Pig.
Mate, you're a
nailed
good
it,
dad.
yeah.
Great dad. Can you look up what movies predicted an invention in the future? Something like
Oh,
that.
yeah,
So-
sure. Yeah, well, I think like a lot of futurists love sci-fi because it does quite a good job of representing.
Like
Anyway.
Altered Carbon, that was amazing. Did
Haven't
you watch
seen
that?
it, no.
So good.
I loved it.
What's it about?
Netflix
Like a
special.
dystopian future. Dystopian.
So they're
Like, not a good future.
Well,
they-
it's
they-
kind of got good parts. That's why I was like,
What's the good parts?
the concept is cool. They call the sleeves, and so
yeah, your body is like a sleeve.
Oh,
So it's just a vessel, and then there's these chips that go into the back
Like
of your neck,
consciousness.
and you can move your chip around, so you can live for a long time.
yeah.
You can go from body to body to body.
like we're all iPhones sort of thing.
Essentially.
But the weird thing is that, like, we were watching it at one point, and Tommy's like, "Why don't like because you can? The only way that you can really kill somebody is by destroying that chip." He's like, "Why is everyone not wearing like neck things to protect?"
Protectors.
Yeah. And I was like,
A case.
so
No one's
simple.
wearing a
It's
case.
good question.
Exactly.
Quad neck.
Yeah. Attach it to your bike. Amy, what was the highlight of 2019 for you?
Do you want to know something? I was in the bathroom and I
You were
thought,
thinking of it.
what's Josh going to ask me? He's going to ask me what the highlight of my year is.
Oh yeah, no, that's because she's extrapolated from the common question. What's the highlight of your day?
Yeah.
And
I know it gets very.
what's the second question that he asked? What's the highlight of
I've
your
got
year?
a follow up, but I want
Okay.
to know that to start with from both you and Bree. Highlight of your year, 2019. Now that we're in 2020,
Wow, crazy.
Good that you pre-thought it. So you should have a good answer.
It's a bit. I was thinking it is a very boring answer, but it is honest. I think with all of the work that you've been putting into yourself.
You can't give me the highlight of your year. I'm definitely.
About you.
No, but I think that from you not drinking, meditating every day, exercising, and really working on yourself, it's really benefited our relationship. And I think I've really,
It's been a highlight.
I think our relationship has been a real highlight this year.
I was going to clap.
Now
at
one
that.
for you.
That's a big. I mean, that's a big one. That's a big one.
That's a great one. Yeah.
But it's still a compliment for me. I don't.
Yeah, which I actually didn't want to do.
What's a selfish?
I really like
One
my
thing.
job.
Oh, that's good.
I'm really happy that I feel like it's been a long time since I've found, like I've liked a lot of jobs that I've had, but it's been a long time since I've gone to,
Yippee.
since I've walked into a workplace and it felt like, I could stay here for a while, for a really long time. It
No
felt a
one
bit like
using
home.
the sandwich presses to cook rotten fish.
No, this is actually that workplace.
Oh, is that the same one? Things improved.
Yeah, that's right.
Is that person still there?
They are. And every time they use the sandwich press,
You
they
think
hear,
of it.
Yeah.
Are
hear
they still
something from
cooking
me.
fish?
He's slowly worked it back into rotation, yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Rotten fish.
no.
That happened and the office smelt for like 3 days. But
it was an accident, right?
it
They
was
didn't
an
know it was
accident.
rotten.
Yeah.
Oh, how do you? Oh.
I
They
didn't
didn't know
know.
until it
I
started
I
cooking?
probably wouldn't know either. I like that. So your job and then also Tommy and all of his improvements. What about you, Bree? Don't feel like you have to mention me now. The previous year was a good one for me, so I did that. My improvement was last year.
Okay, there's a couple of things. The first thing would be professionally, I love my job. It's exhausting, but I work for a startup. It's a chocolate company called Hey Tiger. Get around it. I'm sure some people already know about it.
Can we put a affiliate link or something?
Yeah, do that.
Can we?
Sure. Yeah.
Can people get it? Can we give a discount? Can we do a discount, seriously, or no? A free mini bar?
Yeah, we're almost out of chocolate.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, so Christmas has gone really well.
Use a shameless probe.
So for me, there's been a lot of growth, and I think there's that thing where you sort of feel like you've got that imposter sort of syndrome and that you can't do it. And I think this year has been a lot of proof that I can do it, and I've got a really good team, and we've really supported each other. We're still really small, but we've achieved a lot. Another thing would be I did a marketing course, and that was for 8 weeks, and that was really good and challenging, and a lot of it was putting yourself out there and having really open discussions. And in the final week, we had to do a presentation, and that took a lot for me to sort of speak publicly and confidently. So that was another thing. And then I think the last thing would be routine, like just getting back. Like we travelled for 4 months together last year, and we're staying at Josh's parents when we got home, which we were super grateful for. And then we moved out in, was it March?
March of 2019 or whatever.
Yeah.
You were still living there in 2019.
Yeah, isn't it crazy?
Wow.
That's why it's like outrageous to think of like how much I hated that, because I'd have to get up at like 5 a.m. and then we would drive and stuff.
It was more just the commute. We were so grateful that, we're so lucky that we had your parents' house to stay at. That was so lovely to have us there and all that sort of thing.
Unlimited wagon wheels. Pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good.
Great.
And Tim Tams. Good. But
That's
I think
not true,
like
actually.
getting
There's
back
rarely Tim Tams.
because they hid it from you. I knew where the Tim Tams were.
Right.
But I think routine for us, like just getting back into a groove. Like I've gone back to my old gym. That's really good. Just being able to walk to work.
Is
F45?
I'm at Field and Function, Abbotsford now.
Is Josh's coffee a part of your routine? Like getting him and handing him
Yes.
Is that actually, have you worked that in?
Yeah, I've worked that in.
That's
So I
amazing.
go to the gym at 6 o'clock in the morning. Then when I finish at 7, I go via the coffee place on the way home. I get 2 coffees. I bring it home and he's
And
in
I'm
bed.
there. No, I'm not in bed actually though
Most of the time
nowadays.
you're, no, yeah.
You
That's
should
true.
see how many we got we're on the muscle meal thing. Like that's one of the habits that we're getting into.
Is it
yeah.
Muscle Chef?
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
The one
My-
that they do on F45. It's
My
really
muscle
good.
chef.
Ah.
They sell
Look at
them.
how full our fridge is.
That's good.
Isn't
very
it crazy?
It's
It looks like a quickie mart.
It's
does.
$150 for 20 meals. So that's like a Monday to Friday thing. And
That's
they're
pretty
really good.
They sell them at Bodhi, downstairs at Bodhi's Old Daycare at the quickie mart, at the little convenience store.
They're very delicious. 97 you had one the other day.
Yeah, it was great before the gym. I actually went into YMCA and the bloke that I know there asked him if he could microwave it because they don't have a public microwave. So he took me out back into the staff area and
cute.
And what happened?
gave me a fork and
Gave you a fork? Did he microwave the food?
yeah, he microwaved the food.
Give you a fork.
No, it is. It's good quality stuff.
And then what about you? What was the question
Well,
again?
this is
Other
funny.
highlight.
I caught up with Jules last week, Jules Lund, and he was pumped. End of year, he's like, you should write down. He's like, I did this. Spend some time writing down all of your achievements because you don't usually think about it,
Yeah. Go to Smiggle, get a notepad.
or your notes on your phone.
Yeah.
It's nice to write down on paper, but it's a good one. I think.
Have you done it yet?
No, I've just been thinking about them.
That's actually a good idea. I should do that because by the end of the year, I'm so foggy and I'm not clear on sort of what I've done or what I consider an achievement. Like because it's just been everything feels so full on all
Well, it's
the
like
time. You
getting
can't
an
think
apartment
clearly.
for you guys.
Yeah.
Actually living in your own
Yeah.
apartment again.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a process.
Yeah, I think the consistency thing is definitely like just doing the show regularly and all that sort of thing. Yeah, I think that's
I mean, if
the
we do
highlight.
some collective ones for the show, this office,
Yeah.
the old office,
Mr. 97 coming on
Mr.
full time.
97.
500
Yeah,
even.
Episode 500.
Episode 500.
LA,
that was so good to
Sydney.
celebrate.
Oh, a live event,
Yeah, you did that.
making money from the show.
Yeah,
like
that's good.
all these things are.
When did we get the camera, the C200?
That was only like
That was this year.
That was this year.
March or something. We didn't even have a video. Like we had yours
Yeah.
from your old business,
Yeah,
but we
yeah.
didn't have our own cinema camera.
Computers, the NAS. I mean, I'm going very hardware specific. but
But
no,
I
there's
think it's like you you record every single day, which is crazy. Every time I talk to someone about it, they're like, that's massive. You've had
5
some
days
of
we
the best
pre-record Weekend
guests
Banters.
in Australia on your podcast.
Oh, you can give them some props.
yeah.
People who
Yeah,
have come on the show.
guests.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's amazing. And it's another thing that you guys do really well, I think, which is a compliment, is that
Thank you
as much
for
as
letting
you
us-
do research and things like that, you don't really like prepare a whole bunch of questions
Mate,
or
she
it's just
prefaced
this,
it with it being a positive.
yeah.
Still good.
And you're able to, it's really good conversation and it's really interesting. And I think that's really good. And you always make people feel welcome and celebrated. And I think another thing for you guys too is also you need to make money as well. So then you're trying to run the video production side of the business, which is really hard because you've got that sort of going, you've got the podcast going, then you've sort of got the branded, trying to do more branded content side of the podcast and monetizing that as well. So I think
It's a lot in one year.
It's it feels like a bloody long year.
I think but I think people would be surprised at doing it for themselves that it's a lot in 1 year. A lot just is whatever it is for you. Like just,
hang on, and you hired Mason full time. Did you?
Yeah, we
come on
said
this
that.
year?
Yeah,
oh, you
yeah,
said
yeah,
that.
we said that, yeah.
That's a big one.
What about like consumption? I'm thinking about 2020 and the books I want to read. I've seen, Amy, that you've been posting more about podcasts and you love Adam Grant like I do.
Much.
Has that
He sounds like he's smiling like the whole time he
is.
talks.
Yeah. It's almost a nervous tick, but
Do you
in a good
reckon?
way. Yeah. Just like if you're smiling, you're all good.
Can we do that for the next? Just like we're smiling.
And there is something in it.
When you work in customer service, they always tell you if you're on the phone,
Just
have a
smile.
smile in your voice.
Yeah.
And you do that by smiling.
He got told that. Hasn't stopped it.
We should just try for the rest of the episode for fun. I will anyway. And so, no, what do you like about him?
I'm drawn, I think, a lot to people who do psychology because like it's an interest.
Yeah.
And organizational psychology is so it's so interesting because like we all work, we all have jobs, and just you're really putting me off with your smile.
Why?
If you close your eyes, because then it's listening
you
to.
can
I
hear
can't
me.
look at him doing it.
It's actually something when I was emceeing that event, I realized I can get so in my head that I'm actually not smart. Like I don't smile because I'm just trying to get the information across. So I made sure to really sort of smile as well. But I think it could be a good quality.
For sure.
It's kind of sounds like you need to do a poo.
It sounds like how it's sounding.
Like you're a bit.
yeah.
When's this wrapping up?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
we gotta wrap this
Maybe
up.
a bit strained, is it? I don't
Actually,
know.
Mason smiles a lot, like a lot.
Yeah, Mason's got
Yeah.
the perfect sort of,
Yeah.
it's
Isn't
quite,
he
quite
just the
hard to do.
perfect?
Yeah,
Perfect
Yeah,
boy.
he's great.
he is
Yeah.
really great. We love Mason.
we love
Big year for him.
Yeah, very big year. What's been the highlight? I'm sure he probably asked you before, but do it again.
I think episode 500 was probably so much fun. Like that was as scary as that was, but sort of emceeing and being up there. That's something that I've never done before. So
10 more.
That was
Number
great.
one.
Have you guys
Just reel them off. Just reel them
Oh,
off.
yeah, 10
a few
more
highlights.
highlights.
Just think about just things you've done. Just little things.
Yeah, I mean the shameless dating, LA.
What about LA?
What
Well, I mean,
LA?
you know, just going over there and meeting everyone. That was great.
Was Tully highlight or what?
I mean, you've produced the show.
Yeah.
That's a big
Oh,
one.
yeah, doing that every day.
Editing
It's been great.
all the
Oh,
snippets and things
Airtable?
like that.
I know
Yeah.
it's quite
Airtable's
boring,
pretty
but Airtable, that's big, right? Everyone's impressed with Airtable.
Oh, yeah, the social media stuff.
Yeah, actually.
Oh,
you're
yeah,
really good at
social
that.
media. Yeah, you've been smashing that. Oh, good.
Your hair?
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
the hair
yeah,
stuff.
that as well. Yeah, I'm actually considering getting it done again.
Your
Really?
body?
Wow.
Not
What's going on? Did you
Dropped
lose
an AirPod out of his
oh
ear.
no,
That's okay.
not the whole thing. Maybe just like tips or something.
Tits.
Uh-huh.
All right, we'll have to
Oh, yeah, you
have a
look great.
consultation.
Go
with,
back to Rachel.
Yeah.
Go back to Rachel, yeah.
All right, so there's a few. It's. I mean, is it hard? Was that hard for you, Mr. 97, to reel those off?
I mean, when you're holding Bodhi a little bit.
Yeah.
I literally
97
went
just
to
tried to
an
put the
airport.
AirPod in his own ear.
No, but I mean, there's so much awesome stuff has been happening, and probably, yeah. I mean, I guess like meeting all of you guys as well. That's been a massive highlight as well. It's
Likewise.
no, I mean, because, yeah, Yeah, I mean, I wasn't doing too much at the start of the year, so to have more direction and clarity, yeah, that's been a massive highlight.
What do you think you would be doing? And this isn't like trying to sort of say, look at what we've done for you. But what the fuck would you be doing if you weren't doing the show? Do you reckon? Like, be grandiose about it. Like, if everything went to plan, what would you have been doing?
I mean, I didn't have much of a plan. Probably.
You're building people's websites.
Yeah, don't think I would have continued doing that. It would have been too much of a headache.
Have you stopped there because they were paying monthly subscriptions, weren't they?
Yeah, I've handed that over. I've gotten rid
To
of
who?
that. One of my mates.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Have you told the client?
Yeah, no, I did. I sent emails over.
A handover.
Yeah, handover. Yeah, go on.
literally.
What else would you be doing? Because before you started here full time, you were working at like a digital agency sometimes, doing some writing.
I probably would have been spread across multiple people and industries, just sort of learning and doing bits of work here and there for them.
I'm sure, to be honest, someone else would have seen what you could do and you would have been offered some sort of full-time thing.
It's a fair bit of work, though. There's a lot of... I think it's so much about timing. So when you want an internship or you want to be a part of some other people's thing that they've got going on, it won't always happen. And it has to happen at like a right time. It's like when someone says, oh, I just need like a video person, like some young video person. I'm just like, it is like stars aligning to get the right person that is open to working for nothing and creating that relationship. And so it's like, I feel so lucky to have you, Mace. I love you.
Yeah, I mean, I love you guys as well.
Oh, you did.
Yeah, that's nice.
But it was you guys, you know. It's like, it's quite intimate
love
to
you,
say
Tommy.
it back to somebody when they've said it to you, you know. Like, I love you guys is easy, but Bree, I love you is hard.
I love you.
See, it's hard. That was straight.
I love you.
See, that's almost
I
just
love
turned
you.
it into that. I love you guys. Just managed to take the single one to the
No, I
and I love the
directed
chair. I love the mic. I love the table.
And the M&Ms.
Do you reckon you'll tell somebody you love them this year, Mace? That's not your family?
The year's nearly up.
No, 2020. This is coming out the 5th of Jan.
She's a good actor. She can't act. You know,
She can't act.
Can't act. Sorry.
We're not really acting.
No. But what you're hoping you could tell somebody you love them this year?
Yeah, maybe it might happen.
He's smart. It'd be a special moment. And I'd like to capture it, please.
In regards to like habits and not just any sort of habit, but consumption of content. What's everyone wanting to consume in 2020? So, Amy, I feel like you got into more podcasts maybe at the end of the year, or like got focused on a few specific good ones.
I think I just started sharing them because I've been listening to a lot of different ones for a while. And when I say a lot of different ones, I mean mainly Armchair Expert. But
no, this is the funniest thing. You know when someone in your life close to you has got onto a new podcast and they're just obsessed, is when they actually drop the name out of I was listening to this podcast, they want to tell you something and they've actually stopped telling you what podcast it is.
he already knows.
And I was like, hang on, let me guess. This is from Dax Shepard.
Who is Dax Shepard?
He's
an
Kristen
actor,
Bell's
right?
husband.
Or comedian?
I shouldn't start with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know.
I think he's a
Kristen
comedian.
Bell's little
Actor,
bitch.
definitely.
Yeah.
No, he's
Or like in comedies or something. I'm sure he was.
Yeah.
you'd know
Actor,
his
yeah.
face. His name. Never knew his name, but I know his face. And then yes, he's married. His
Real
wife is
interesting.
Kristen Bell. But it is a cool kind of podcast.
It is really cool. But I think I just decided to start posting like when I got stuff out of something because I really appreciate it when other people do that, and I always read it, what they get out of it, and I think it's real interesting. So I thought, oh, why not?
So you're going to post more this in 2020, do you think?
If I feel like it, I don't know. No real, I guess, goals around that. I'd like to, I think, improve a lot on my thinking because I'm an overthinker. And
Yep, same.
yeah, so, you know, you can
What
have
does
an
that mean?
interaction for me
Oh yeah, what is?
by overthinker or by improve my thinking.
No.
Yeah, what's
overthinking.
what's improving thinking for an overthinker?
For me, well, I'll answer both questions. For me, I guess if I would have an interaction with someone and they could look at me funny or whatever, and I'll walk away going, fuck, they they think I'm an idiot and they think this and they think that, and create like a whole world around
You get
that
anxiety about
Oh
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Create a whole world around that experience and think it was something that I've done and really try to work that out and then go back to them and go, hey, if I offended you by this, that's not what I meant. And I'll go, oh no.
It's like you've created this whole narrative.
That's right. And they're like, oh, I just saw something in the distance and was like worried about that for a second or
sometimes
whatever.
it's like they've just got their own shit going on. So
100%.
Like you caught them on a day where they're just, and that's what
Yeah,
I
you
was
caught them on a
saying.
day when they're trying to smile in every word they speak, and you think, "What was that?
And
That
every-
person was so
yeah.
fake."
And that's the thing, when I'm creating these worlds, it's super self-centered because I'm making it all about me all the time. Like they're thinking this about me, this is about me. And so I guess
What about when
I'm
you?
trying to put the focus on other people more,
I mean,
if I can.
empathy for an overthinker. What about when you get it right? And so you start sort of having these like, not they're wins, but you start affirming the
But I
things
still
you're
don't think it's a
thinking.
win because I'm stuck in my head making myself suffer, if that makes sense. Like the way that you think I love it because you'll go, but Amy, they said that they're doing good. So why are you overthinking all this stuff if they've said that? And I'm like, yeah, but all these signs indicate to they're really pissed off at me. And you're like, take them on what they said. If they're lying to you, they're being dishonest. They don't want you to know. And what's the point in you making yourself suffer? And I think that you're very good at not allowing yourself to suffer in your head. And that's a real strength. And one that I'd like to work on.
When do you need to overthink, or when does it serve? I guess.
I think when safety is at risk, I think that's probably something that's good to make sure that you are right about. Like if one of your friends, if you think that they're in danger, like at home or whatever, and if they're telling you like, no, it's all good, and signs are pointing to things not being good, I think it's probably good to overthink that a little bit and be extra vigilant about different things.
I think one of the dangers of underthinking is not listening to yourself and
That's
what you
true.
think about something. So you're actually having those moments where you're getting signals, and it could be even a feeling about something, a situation, and then you don't listen to that.
Yeah.
And so then there's a point where it's like
There's
such
balance,
a
I guess, in between you and I.
But do people who underthink also undercommunicate? I wonder.
well, that's what I'm saying. They're under communicating with themselves as much
Well, yeah, if
as
they're not
other people.
reconciling it there, then because I feel like we reflect what we're doing internally. So if you're an overthinker, you're probably an over communicator.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you could have both, if you could get to a point where you're taking, maybe not underthinking, but taking things as they're presented to you.
Mindfulness is literally the answer, I think, because mindfulness is
Such a guru.
no, but it makes sense.
All right, Bikram.
I wish I had his cars. No, in a
He might be
moment,
selling them actually.
in a moment where you are overthinking, having the ability to step back from it, to actually observe the situation that's going on with no emotion.
Yeah.
At least attempt to. That's what mindfulness is. It's like not even meditation. It's it's like mindfulness of
Well,
just,
every kind of weakness is like the opposite of a strength. I'm not doing that role, but like if you are like an overthinker, then you're probably very thoughtful and considerate because you're thinking about all your actions.
Yes.
And so it's about how do you maximize on the strength of that and minimize the weakness. Like how do you make it work for you the best that you can?
yeah.
So what?
So I don't want to be an underthinker. I
Definitely
want to
not.
still be me, but without it affecting me.
Yeah.
Well, see, my boss Cyan always, because I'm always like, I hate overthinking, and I get into these situations where I'm like, I don't know where to go next, or I've really, really thought about something. I'm just like, and I'll go through all these different things with her, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm overthinking it. And there was once where she said to me, don't apologize for overthinking. Like that's one of your strengths, and that's what makes you so good at what you do. But then she was also like, that's one thing that's always going to be annoying for you, like just to control but she was like, but don't let that go, because I like that you overthink and that you care and that you're passionate about what we're doing enough to really think about it thoughtfully.
Beautiful.
So I think there's got to be different ways of handling it or whatever that is, because sometimes I can get into a situation where I feel stuck. But then there's other times where I'm like, okay, if I just remove all the bullshit and think, why am I thinking the way I am, and sort of trying to pull it apart in pieces to sort of get there.
Because I think it can definitely serve, but I think if you can try
think a
and
lot,
like I'll even be like if I talk to someone, I'll be looking at their visual cues. If they say something, and I say their arms crossed or things like that, I adjust. Like I'll do all that sort of shit, which.
But I think there's a strength in that as well, because I was thinking about, I do similar stuff where like, you know, I've like, oh, have I hit a nerve? Okay, let me backtrack and work backwards or whatever, make you feel more comfortable. And I guess that the strength in that is that you are, Adam calls this high self-monitoring, and where what you're constantly kind of observing yourself and changing yourself. And I think I used to hate that about myself because I thought, oh, I'm such a chameleon, whatever someone wants, I'll give it to them. But at the same time, I think that it's actually a strength in that you're always kind of testing the temperature of the room and then able to respond to that.
Yeah.
And I think that it's quite a peaceful quality, because it means you're not going to, if there's like a room full of really quiet people, you're not like, well, I'm going to be myself at all costs and I'm loud and I'm this and going to make you all feel really anxious and whatever. So I think that's
another, because that's like another mask or whatever that's not necessarily serving. Because even like if I like glance over at something while someone's talking and I think they probably thought that I wasn't paying attention, I'll then verbalize the last thing they said, or like ask a question that's very specific to that thing to like bring it all back or whatever. And these things I think just happen naturally. Yeah. But
and
I guess it's taking the anxiety out of it, right?
For sure. And even like when people, I really appreciate it when people like are direct about what they've done. Like, oh, sorry, I hope you don't think that I wasn't paying attention to you. I was just looking over there because there's a clock there and I have to run in 10 minutes, but I've got heaps of time or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's always helpful.
That's why the Apple Watch is annoying with notifications, because I keep looking at my watch, but it's
yeah, you do that a lot.
But you also tell people what you're doing, which I think is good. Like, oh, I'm doing this.
I'm just looking at
my watch.
Yeah.
There's one thing that I do want to stop, like for both of us to do less of in 2020, and that's being on our phones.
I thought you were going to say Uber Eats gelato.
Well, we're already past Uber Eats.
Oh, yeah,
we're on
sure.
muscle
Yeah.
But definitely be on our phones less, because like I waste so much time just aimlessly sort of scrolling, or not even if I'm doing like work stuff, just constantly connected. And I find it really hard at night to switch off and go to sleep, because like I know I was speaking to someone on Friday night, and we're sort of all helping it with social media at the moment, because there's been, with the hot weather, we've had a few people that have had melted chocolate. And I dreamt of melted chocolate, because I literally was like replying to these people and they were super lovely. It was no problem. But then in my dreams, I was just dreaming about it, and I was just kept waking up and I was like, oh God, it's exhausting
to your brain.
How can you do it? How can you?
I think we actually need to take our phones out of our room.
No, just use night mode, make everything black.
But I've got night mode and I still look at it.
No, but you can look at it. The point is it's a little less strain on the eyes, but I get what you're saying.
No, because it's for your mind.
Yeah.
And I want to get into, we went into a habit for a while there where we were reading before bed, and it was just really nice. No screens, and
physical
I love
books.
Yeah, physical books and fiction books for me, because I just sort of love to escape. Josh is all about nonfiction. And it was really nice, especially when you find a good book and you can't put it down and you're sitting, like every night I was like looking forward to like reading it. I want to get back into those habits rather than being on my phone, which sounds so simple, but it's so hard to break.
It is so hard because it's so addictive. But my sister's reading The Artist's Way at the moment.
Oh, that's what you've got, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the it's quite big.
Oh,
yeah,
it's like
a squarish.
Yeah.
And what's quite funny is because it was written a while ago, I think before phone technology, before technology was invented. But what it talks about not reading, which I thought was so crazy, because I'm like, because that was the entertainment back in the day.
Don't read.
Yeah, it's like,
well, that's the whole consumption, right? Like consumption, there's always been a thing that's been the bad thing. I'm sure we'll look at phones and think how silly. It's like detach from the headsets, like so we'll be having headsets or whatever, or take your contact lenses out.
Yeah, true.
It's so funny because it will say just don't have a newspaper with breakfast and all these things.
How funny.
Yeah.
Whereas like those things I look at like a little
I know.
indulgence. Even when I'm waiting for the coffees in the morning after the gym, I'll flick through the newspaper.
Yeah, like a
Yeah.
good
and
thing.
I was like, oh wow, this is nice.
Yeah,
And on my phone, look at me go.
Straight to the confidential. Who
Is it confidential every day?
Every day.
Every day.
Weekends, I think Sunday really comes in hard, I think.
I'm all about the horoscopes page.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we've just
What are
gotten
you?
around that.
Taurus.
Ooh, what does
What
that
are you?
mean? Sagittarius.
I'm a bull. Apparently I'm stubborn.
There's your word for the
I
year.
feel like you are.
Yeah, which is quite funny. Do you think I'm stubborn?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think so.
Sagittarius, you're Virgo. And what are you, Mace?
I don't know. Something in what's November?
September, October, November, November.
Depending on
Is
which
it Scorpio?
Oh, November 1.
You could be, you'd be
Remember we
Scorpio.
looked at 97s the other day and said he was going to be finding a new job. I
Oh yeah, that's right.
was going to send it to him. Anyway.
That's funny.
No plans for this year, Mace, to find another job? Or
Nah, no plans.
Oh good.
sound
Doesn't
Here to
confuse
say-
Maybe his job will go to a new level or
Yeah,
something.
no, I think so.
Yeah, new job.
Oh.
An
New
upgrade
level.
or whatever it's
CEO.
called. CEO. I
Bodhi,
think-
what has been your highlight of 2019? No?
Catboy.
He doesn't.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess we can lean into it.
Zippy. Can you ask
Bring
him
the
to
mic
speak?
a little bit down.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, Bodhi, what have you liked about this year?
What's your favorite? What's your favorite character?
This one.
Who is
This-
it?
Gecko.
Gecko.
Can you do for us the super gecko muscle? Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
The gecko muscle.
Yeah.
Bodhi, what are you excited about for the year?
It's your 3rd birthday coming up this year.
If you could eat anything right now, if I could give you any food, what would you like?
Carrot.
What was that?
Carrot.
Carrot.
Uncle
boy.
Mason.
Carrot.
Uncle Mason.
Yeah, Mason directed that.
I thought he was going to say biscuit.
They don't have
He's gone off biscuits.
Really?
Oh, he's gone off.
What do you
Biscuits,
think of
that's
biscuits,
outrageous.
Bodhi?
Catboy biscuit.
Oh, you want a Catboy biscuit?
Do they have them?
Well, there's Catboy muffins.
You can make them
And
in
then
the
they have those.
supermarket in the
Remember,
packs.
remember the old Scott? Like you definitely. I did
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
I just ate the whole
With the rice
sheet
paper.
of
Sure.
rice.
Stickers that you put on.
Edible things. Yeah,
I like
no,
that.
Edible little images. We could do the Daily Talk Show ones, like cupcakes. Oh, Mark Schenk.
Yeah, Mark Schenk. did
Mark
that.
Schenk gave them
He
to
didn't
us.
bake them, but they were delicious.
They were amazing. Thanks, Mark.
Bree and Amy, thank you for a great year. Thank you for supporting us.
Yeah.
Did you say your things that you were grateful for this
We've
year?
done it before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You
we
don't
just
wanna
did
say it
work.
just to wrap it off?
We just did
Wrap
work
up?
stuff. I still got to write my list. But,
But
yeah,
like
there's-
we're right here, so you could
Yeah,
do
so
stuff.
you could say something, anything
so you
personal.
get one.
Yeah.
You get one then.
And if it's not your spouse, then
So this is personal.
Mm.
Oh, wait, so you're doing okay.
Yeah.
Highlight.
You go
Highlight.
personal, babe.
Mhm.
I mean, this year's been very work heavy for us. Our relationship.
That's a good one.
No. and I'm not. It's been good. I think we've connected more and found that spark again. More sex, which is good.
September.
we had that full month where you
Every
got
day?
where you got
Every
your
day.
period, so it knocked out most of it. I knocked out a week or so.
It doesn't happen every month, though, isn't that how
No,
it
it's
works?
been nice. I think us and getting a house, and no, we didn't buy it. A lot of people do end up saying, "What'd you buy?" But no, just moving into a house and Bodhi and just our relationship's been lovely.
That's very nice.
That's nice.
You don't have to say anything about me. It's okay.
No, I will. I want to. I'm just trying to think of which one.
oh, that's nice.
Yeah, because there's so
multiple.
many things
Yeah,
to
I'm
say.
trying to think. No, well, I mean, you look at you could look at the thing of the phone thing being bad, and that we enable each other, but we're very aligned.
We are,
everything
yeah.
that we do together.
Yeah.
So when we're on the phone,
Can't have Insta and
Bree's on the
Facebook.
phone at the same time. So I think that's good. Like I know what I like is like I walk home and then Bree's driving. Like she's like basically get to home at the same time, and I think we spend a lot of time together. So
We
that's
do spend
nice.
a lot of time together then.
Your routines are good.
Yeah,
Matching.
Yeah, we've got that aligned. What else? Dalesford was great.
Dalesford was great. We went to,
Like there was a couple of good hikes, but we want to do more hikes,
yeah, we do.
more walking and shit. That'd be nice. Oh, it was really good when we went into
Linda's?
No, I was going to say when we went to Churchill Park National Park with 3D Deal.
Oh, yeah, that was fun.
That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, what else? Yeah.
And you
that's
came
about
packing
it.
chocolate with me last weekend. That
Oh
was
yeah,
also
actually
fun.
that was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, doing stuff because I think we were talking about love languages or whatever, and Breeze is
Acts of service.
she likes when I do acts of service, which is good.
Well,
that'd be Lucy.
That'd be Lucy.
Yeah.
All right, great. But anyway, yeah, no, I think active like doing shit. I think is
Yeah, doing shit.
yeah.
Hey, Bodhi, can you say bye to the Gronk Squad? Say, see ya, Gronks.
I don't want to.
Oh, he's
Do you love
Can you say
Mason?
it's the Daily Talk Show?
Just at least
It's the
one.
Daily Talk Show. Okay, we're crossing to Bodhi in 3, 2, 1. Oh no, we've got a slight delay.
Hang on, here we go.
Go. There we go. What just
And
happened?
We just
Yeah.
lost.
Oh, it's just
we lost
power just there.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
It's the Daily Talk Show.
See you tomorrow, guys.
See you guys.